Colin began bouncing up and down and pointing at the huge spotlights being hoisted up into the ceiling. "Do you think they need any help backstage?" he asked eagerly. "I'd much rather do that than be in the play." "I'm sure they would let you help with a few things," said Mrs. Bagnell. "I'll ask one of the stagehands now. Wait here. But the rest of you'd better go and join the auditions." She pointed to the foot of the stage where a small group of people were gathering. "It looks like they've started." Suddenly a voice yelled, "You, stop right there!" Janet and the others looked over and realized the voice was directed at Barbara. She was crying. "What's going on?" asked Peter. "Why is she crying?" "Maybe her audition isn't going well," said Jack. But then a man with wild wavy hair and large glasses said, "You were outstanding." Barbara stopped crying instantly, smiled, and took a bow. Janet and the others rushed down the little steps and over to the foot of the stage where Pam and Barbara were standing. "Did you see?" Pam said excitedly. "The director loved Barbara's audition." "What happened?" asked Jack. Is that what you've got to do if you want to be an extra?" "No," said Barbara, grinning from ear to ear. "That's what you have to do if you want an actual part. I'm in the play. I got a part, a proper part, with lines and everything." Barbara grabbed Pam and they started jumping around together and taking turns to roar at each other like lions. Some people gave Pam and Barbara strange looks, but the rest of the 7 just laughed. Roaring at each other when they were excited was one of Pam and Barbara's new things. "I never knew you could cry on demand," said Peter. Barbara stopped roaring and looked at Peter. "Remember that time you tried to take my Secret 7 badge away because I was late to a meeting?" Peter's mouth dropped wide open. That was pretend crying? Barbara laughed and began jumping up around again with Pam. "Well, I should have taken your badge away for that," said Peter. "You weren't just late, Barbara. You were 1 hour and 14 minutes late." "Hey, I remember that," said Jack. "Peter wouldn't let us touch the cheese pies his mum had made until you got there. They were freezing and they'd gone all crusty by the time you eventually turned up." Barbara stopped roaring. "But you still ate them, didn't you?" Jack shrugged. "Would have been a shame to waste them," he said. The director clapped his hands loudly and everyone stopped talking. "Attention! If you've come to audition to be an extra, I need you on stage in 15, he said, wiping his forehead with his sleeve. He looked stressed. "What do we have to do?" asked Jack. The director seemed a bit annoyed that Jack had asked a question. "Just stand and look scared, that's it," he said, flicking through his script. And then he rushed back over to a man standing on stage holding a horse's head. Jack burst out laughing. "George, you'll be great at this." Janet looked at the man with the horse's head. "What's the play about?" she asked Barbara and Pam, who were still jumping up and down. "It's amazing," said Barbara, continuing to leap about. "It's all the fairy tales mixed up together, but they've made it really creepy." Pam stopped bouncing. "It had better not be scary," she said. "I don't like scary plays. I went to one with my auntie in London last year and it was terrifying." "Which play was it?" asked Janet. "Oliver Twist," said Pam. "Oliver Twist isn't scary," said Janet. "Yes, it is. What about the bit where they couldn't give Oliver any more food? That's scary. He could have starved to death." Everyone burst out laughing. Pam crossed her arms. "Stop laughing at me," she said, giggling too. We'll finish the rest of the chapter next time.